actually.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Hey guys, it's Iggy, and before I start, I just want to say thank you to all those who supported me in my very first video. Thank you for all the likes, the comments, and the shares. It really meant a lot to me knowing that it was my pilot video, and I really didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure how people would react to my content. I wasn't sure if people would like my content. I wasn't even sure if anyone would watch it. So being a beginner in this space, or actually just doing something new in general, I understand that it's a very daunting task to start something new that you've never done before, especially in this platform where a lot of people are doing it and a lot of people already perfected their craft. Being a beginner in this space is very intimidating, and I'm just so grateful that I couldn't have gotten a warm welcome. All the kind words and all the words of encouragement were all I needed to keep myself going. And just to share, that video actually got 134 views, 12 thumbs up, and it got me 10 more subscribers. And that for me is already a win, because I started out with nothing. And that's okay. I think people should embrace that beginner's mentality again, that starting from zero is nothing to be ashamed of. And so going from 0 to 134 views, that's a win in my book. So thank you so much, and I hope you keep supporting me, and let's keep it going. So my first video was in honor of Heidelin Diaz's historic gold medal win in the Tokyo Olympics. And it was such a big deal because it was the first gold medal win for the Philippines ever in the Olympics. But since then, we've had another medal finish, and this was Nesthy Petecio's silver medal win in women's boxing. And I think we should all just take the time to appreciate how women are leading us into this new era of Filipino sports. I mean, it's about damn time. So in honor of that, I think it's only fitting that we continue our Olympic-related content. So here's 3 things about the Tokyo National Stadium. So first thing about the Tokyo National Stadium was that it was designed by Kengo Kuma, who's a world-renowned Japanese architect and the founder of Kengo Kuma and Associates. And from what I read, his design philosophy has a lot to do with how architecture evolves through time. He has a sensitivity towards material and technique, and you can see it in his work that although his designs are modern, you could feel that it was inspired by traditional Japanese architecture. Some of his more famous works include the Asakusa Culture and Tourism Center, Sunny Hills at Minami Oyama, and even a Starbucks in Fukuoka-shi, Japan. So it's actually no surprise that he was tapped to design this 68,000-seat track and field and athletic stadium that served as the centerpiece of the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Second thing is that the stadium is wrapped with 47,000 plants all around. That's what it would look like if Imelda Marcos was a plantita. But the landscaped exterior is one of the more striking features that you would immediately notice from the outside. And it makes sense because when you're designing something this big, the question is not how can we make it bigger? It's usually how can you make it blend with the environment. And since the environment is tree-lined, there are gardens, there are trees all around, the best way to make it fit in is to incorporate landscape in the facade. And the last thing about the Japan National Stadium is that its prominent wooden eaves were designed to mimic the wooden roofs of traditional Japanese architecture. And just for context, for those of you who do not know what eaves are, it's the part of your roof that extends outward from your outermost wall. So for example, this is your outermost wall of your house or any building. This is the eaves, this part of your roof. So what I like about this is that even if we're living in 2021 and we have all these new materials and technology that's available to us, architects like Kengo Kuma would find ways to bring it back to its roots, to pay homage to what was, to use traditional Japanese architecture as an inspiration and to keep it circulating in the culture even when it's past its prime. And what I liked about the use of wood in the stadium is that one, it's a sustainable material, and second, it gives warmth to the facade, because if it was just concrete and steel, it would feel cold and unwelcoming. To give more ambiance and to become more inviting, wood was a natural choice. And the wooden elements in the stadium aren't just aesthetic, they're actually functional as well. Part of what it does is that it keeps the sunlight and the rain away, but it also facilitates airflow inside the stadium. And that's the beauty of design. As said by the late Steve Jobs, design is not about how it looks, but how it works. So just to recap, 3 things about the Japan National Stadium is that 1, it was designed by Kengo Kuma. 2 is that it's wrapped with 47,000 plants. And 3 is that its wooden eaves mimic those of traditional Japanese architecture. So I hope you learned a thing or two. But what if I told you that this wasn't the original stadium for the Olympics? It was actually something else by someone else. That's for the next video. So catch you on the next one.